Yes, bro. Brother, can I ask you a question? Do you believe in the Bible? Do you believe in God? Do you believe in God?
I do.
I see you got a cross in your ear. Are you Christian?
No.
You're not Christian. Okay, what denomination are you?
No, just believe in that.
You just believe in God. Now, if I ask you what's your nationality, what would you say?
Congolese.
Congolese. Tu parles français?
Swahili.
Swahili. Okay. I'm from Ivory Coast. I know Congolese speak French as well, innit?
Some of them. But
Right.
I don't know it.
That's fine, but you speak English, innit?
Yeah.
Were you born here?
Nah.
Okay, born in Congo. Okay, now, if you believe in God, right, you know God created different nations of people, right?
Right.
Now, what nationality do you descend from?
Me.
What does God call you? Yeah.
God call me.
Yeah. Because every single nation on today, it's got different names, right? You got like Japanese, Chinese, right?
I would say African.
African. Where do we see the word Africa in the Bible? It's not in the Bible. Now, God actually called us a nation of people, if you didn't know. What I'm trying to show you is, I will show you in a second in the Bible, that we would actually be the Israelites. Do you know the Bible at all? So you believe in God, but you don't know nothing about God.
No, nothing at all.
See, that's why I'm out here, because a lot of our people are lost. A lot of our people, we got a zeal for God. That's what most black people, we fill out the churches, don't we?
Right.
We always believe in God, even though we're the ones that went through slavery. We're the ones that go through the hardest thing on this world. But yet we have a faith in God, but we don't know what God we believe in. Let me show you something. This is the Bible that you say you believe in, but you don't know about the Israelites. Let me show you something. This is Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 1. It says, "These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel on this side Jordan in the wilderness, in the plain over against the Red Sea, between Paran and Tophel and Laban and Hazeroth and Dissahab." So these are the words that Moses speaking to who? To all who?
Wilderness.
All Israel. Moses spoke unto all Israel.
Right.
So what we're about to read right from this book is speaking to the Israelites, Israel. You following? Okay. This is the book. This is Deuteronomy 28. Let me go 11 and verse 26. Deuteronomy 11 and verse 26. Look at what it says. It says, "Behold, I set before you this day a blessing and a curse. A blessing if you obey the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you this day, and a curse if you will not obey the commandments of the Lord your God, but turn aside out of the way which I command you this day, to go after other gods which ye have not known." So this is a contract that God gave to Moses to give to the Israelites. You get blessed if you keep the commandments, and you get curses if you don't keep the commandments. You following? This is Deuteronomy now 28 and verse 1. It says, "And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations." So this is the first side of the contract. If you obey the commandments, the Most High God is going to put us on top of all the nations. You following? Verse 15 now. "But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee." Now, are curses good things or bad things? Because one end said, "I'm going to give you a blessing if you obey," and the other said, "I'm going to give you a curse if you don't obey." So are curses good things or bad things? What are they? Curses.
If you don't obey the thing,
It's a bad thing.
it's a bad thing.
Of course, because blessings is what you get if you obey the commandments.
Okay.
If you don't obey, it's curse. It's like your mother and father. So say if you do good at school, they're gonna give you what you want to ask for. But if you don't do good and you're asking for it, are you gonna get what you want? No. Of course not, because you didn't listen to what I'm telling you. It's the same thing with God. God is saying if we obey his commandment, he's gonna bless us. If we don't obey, he's gonna curse us. Now we're gonna read some of these curses so you can see. So this is Deuteronomy 28 and verse 45. It says, "Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. And they," meaning those curses, "shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever." So the curses are going to be on the Israelites as a sign and a wonder, and upon the seed of Israel forever. What does a sign do for you? Like, for example, where are you going right now?
I'm gonna go to the shop over there and buy some boxes.
Okay, what shop are you going to?
What do you call that shop again? Sport Direct.
Sport Direct, right? Now, how do you know it's Sports Direct? Because of the sign.
Right.
It's literally says Sport Direct.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So God is telling us the curses is what we can look at and say, these people fit the curses. That means these people are the Israelites. Do you following?
Yeah. Okay.
Look at the first curse. It says, curse shall thou be in the city, and curse shall thou be in the field. What people were cursed in the fields? The tobacco field, the cotton field, the sugarcane field. What people was picking cotton from sun up to sundown with no pay? What people went through slavery, brother? Have you never seen these slave movies?
I've seen it. African.
What, there was so-called black people, right?
Right.
We were the ones that was cursing the field, cursing the city. Even now we're cursing the city because who lives in the ghettos? Who lives in the ends?
White people.
White people or black people? In the ghettos, in the ends.
Black people.
It's black people that live there. White people don't live there. They live in the suburbs. They live in the nice houses, right? Majority of them, anyway. Look at another curse, verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand. So God is telling us, our sons and our daughters will be given unto another people. When did that happen? Have you ever seen Django or 12 Years a Slave? You never seen any slave movies?
I've only seen one, but
What was
very
it?
Old, about a kid who got kidnapped from Africa, then he got
Like Kunta Kinte or something?
yeah, that
Right.
And then he was going to America,
Right.
and he was enslaved and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
No, but I watched that when I was in just high school.
Fair enough. That's fair enough. That's our history, brother. They used to take your sons away from you. If you had a son,
Right.
they'll take him away, sell him to another plantation. You'll never see him again.
Yeah.
You can watch it in movies. Did white people go through that?
White people.
Did white people? They never went through that, but we did. You see what I'm saying? And I read earlier, God said those curses are going to be on a sign on Israel and upon the seed of Israel forever, right? And I've just read 2 of those curses. Who does those 2 fit so far? Black people, right? Let's read another one. Verse 54. It says, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, because we used to be tender among one another, very delicate. When a baby is delicate, right? How do you hold a baby? You guard it with your whole life.
With your hand, yeah.
So that's what it means to be delicate. We used to be tender among one another. We used to be like, for example, let's say if you needed some money, right? I'll give you some money. I said, don't worry about it. You don't have to pay me back. We're good. If your mom needs a lift home, I've got my car. You don't have petrol. I've got it, bro. You don't have to pay me. It's nothing. It's all good. We used to be tender among one another. But because we disobey God's commandments, look what we're like now. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. So who's got an evil eye toward each other as a nation of people? We're the only one that watch face. Have you been in the clubs before, right?
What?
Have you been in the nightclub?
Nightclub? No.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
Okay, so you're just at 19. Now, I don't know if you know anything about like how we are amongst one another, like in London or United States. Who are predominantly people in the gangs killing each other, stabbing each other up?
Mostly I see black people.
We're the ones stabbing each other up. You don't see white people stabbing each other up.
Yeah, mostly it's just black
Exactly. It's only us doing that. Same thing with the women. What nation of people is known for having single parents household, for growing up without the fathers in their home, like having different baby mothers?
Oh, no,
You got
black
rappers
people.
rap about that. We're the ones that do that. Have you heard of Future, the rapper?
Future.
You know Nick Cannon? Okay, what are you into music, like hip hop
yeah.
or anything like that?
I am.
What?
Most of them are probably white.
Most of them are probably white.
Yeah.
So who do you listen to?
There's Dave. He's black.
Okay.
There's Bugsy Malone. He's
Bugsy
black as
Malone,
well.
okay.
The other ones are just white. Those 2 or 3 people. That's the only
Okay.
ones I listen to.
Fair enough. But when you get into the history, you find out that we're the ones that's known for having different baby mothers. There's a guy called Nick Cannon. Have you ever heard of Wildin' Out?
Well, you know.
It's a show in the United States. It's like they do like little rap battles and stuff. It's quite cool. But Nick, you should look it up. Nick Cannon, he's got like 9 wives, 9 different women that he's got babies with. He's got about 12 kids.
Seems like I've heard of him before.
You probably have heard of him. Same thing with Future. Future is also a rapper. He's got like 9 or 8 different baby mothers. We're the ones who are known for that. We're known for having different baby moms.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's another curse. Let me read the final one, right? This is verse 68. It says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again. Do you know what the Israelites were doing in Egypt in the first place? No. Have you heard the story of Moses where he said, let my people go?
All right, yeah.
And he split the Red Sea?
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Why would he have to say, let my people go?
Well, because they're being enslaved.
They were enslaved.
They didn't have
Exactly.
that stuff, yeah.
So God said, for disobeying his commandment, it said, the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again. That word Egypt means bondage. It means slavery. It means between the rock and a hard place. So when God said, I'm going to bring you back into Egypt again, what do you think he means by that?
Be slaves again.
Be slaves again. You see what I'm saying? So let me prove it to you.
That's the Bible.
That's in the Bible.
I'm sure.
This is King James Bible, brother.
And
This is the King James Bible.
why is everything related to just black people?
Because we're the people of this book.
Damn.
This has been the biggest lie the white man has told us for centuries.
Sounds like everything in there is just about black people.
It's all about, that's what I'm trying to show you. It's been all about us this all along. It's been all about us all along, brother. Who do you think started Christianity? Jehovah's Witness, Seventh-day Adventists, Catholic. What people started those religions? White people did. Guess where we were when these religions were being started? We were in slavery.
Yeah.
So they taught us what they understood from this book. Turns out this book was never written about them. It was always for us all along. But because we disobeyed God, God prophesied that we would go into slavery and slave ship and we would forget who we are. Let me show you this real quick. I'm gonna come back to this last curse. Let me show you this. This is Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse number 4. It says, this is Jeremiah. Jeremiah is a prophet, a righteous man. God said, this is what God said to him. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee. And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever. So God is telling Jeremiah, you're going to discontinue from your heritage that I gave you. What does it mean to discontinue?
Like Andy's heritage.
To stop it. So you're going to stop from your heritage. Your heritage is the commandments of God. That's our heritage. God stopped us from understanding who we are. Now we're walking around calling ourselves black, Congolese, Ivorian. When you ask, I believe in God. I'm imitating you. Don't take. I'm not taking the piss. But you said, I believe in God. I want to ask you, what does your God call you? You don't know. Do you know anything about the Bible? You don't know. But what God do you believe in? I'm guessing it's God of the Bible.
Yeah.
But you don't know nothing about this God. Because we've been discontinued from our heritage because of our disobedience. That's what I'm trying to show you. This is the last curse now. Deuteronomy 20:6. It says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again. I want to show you that Egypt actually means bondage. The way to understand the Bible, it has to be precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. It's like a puzzle. It's not like your Harry Potter book. You start from the beginning to the end. You can read it that way, but you're not going to understand it. You have to go precept upon precept, because some of the things that you read in the New Testament is related to the Old. You have to go to the Old to understand what it means, to fully get what it's trying to say. So this is Deuteronomy 5 and verse 6. It says, I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage. So Egypt is synonymous with bondage. So now look at this. And the Lord, verse 68 now, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again, meaning what again? Slavery again, with ships. What nation of people went into slavery on ships?
American. No, isn't it?
What people went into slavery on slave
that would be
ships?
black people.
Exactly. They took us from the west coast of Africa, shipped us to the United Kingdom, shipped us to the Caribbean and to the Americas. Did white people go through that? We went through that. Let's keep reading. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. Meaning you never see your homeland again. And there, when you get off those slave ships, ye shall be sold unto your enemies. Who were we sold to, brother?
White people.
Who?
White people.
What did God just call them? And ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Meaning white people are our enemies.
That's right. They were never our friend. Would your friend put you in chains and sell you?
No.
Friends wouldn't do that. It's only because now we've been so destroyed in our mind. We think because they've given us jobs now, they make you think you're okay with them. They give you Christmas, right? Now you think everybody's the same, like everybody's equal. God loves everybody. God doesn't love everybody. God only loves his children of Israel, which is us. Let's finish this off. It says, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Meaning nobody's going to come and redeem us out of this slavery. Only Christ is going to come and redeem us out of this slavery. Now, we just read curses about Israelites. We know that fits us. Who does that make us? Who does that mean we are? Are we black people?
Well, yeah, black.
Are you black?
I hope so.
Look at your skin and look at your jacket. Look at your jacket, look at your skin.
No.
Are you black?
Well, I wouldn't quite say so.
You're not black, you're brown. We're all different shades of brown.
Right.
We've never been black. They've just named us black to destroy us so that we don't ask anymore. If they called us purple back then, we would have been walking around saying, yeah, I'm purple.
Right,
I'm purple.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
You see what I'm
I
saying?
get
So
what you're saying.
what does that make us then? If we know the curses happened to the Israelites, and we know it's happened to us, so-called black people, who does that mean we are?
Israel.
We're the Israelites. We're God's chosen people. Let me give you 2 verses, I'm going to let you go, all right? This is what God said about you. This is Deuteronomy 7 and verse 6. It says, for thou, you the Israelites, are an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. There's no equality with God. We've always been better than every nation on the earth. Always. We're the best people on this earth. You might not know it, but hopefully when you do your research, you find out. We've made a lot of these inventions that people use today. GPS system, it was a black woman that made it. Open heart surgery, it was a black man that did it. The stoplight, we created that. To be able to have an engine in your car to drive, we created that. We created so many inventions, but they don't want us to know that. Because if they do, and we realize who we are, we're going to realize we're better than everybody on earth. Because God said it. You see what I'm saying? Now, if I was to ask you, what did Christ look like? What would you say? Because if you Google, because that's Jesus, that's supposed to symbolize Jesus Christ, right?
Mostly you see brown people, white people.
You see white people, right?
See
Look at what this is what the Bible says he looked like. This is Revelation chapter 1 and verse number. To get context, I'm gonna start at 1. It says the revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass, and he sent it and signified it by his angel unto his servant John. The revelation means the word revelation means to reveal, means to show.
Okay.
So this is the showing of Jesus Christ. Now we're going to jump down to verse 14. It said, his head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow. So is wool a texture or is it a color? Wool.
That's a check.
It's a texture.
Right.
So it said his hair was white like wool, meaning it was white and woolly. What nation of people has woolly hair? Woolly textured hair. Like a sheep hair, curly, kinky.
Black.
We got woolly hair.
Right.
White people have stringy hair, straight. That's why you can do so much with our hair. You can cornrow, you can do cornrows, you can do dreads, you can shave it down. You can do so much with our hair because we've got strong hair. It says his head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire. Because if you know anything about the prophecy, Christ, he drank wine in moderation.
Right.
When we as black, so-called black people, when we drink wine, the whites of our eyes, it turns red. Right? It says, and his feet, now your feet is the same color as your whole body. And his feet like unto fine brass. What color is brass? Like a copper, like penny.
Brown.
Brown, right? Let's see how brown he was. It says, as if they burned in a furnace. What color does it turn if you burn anything in the furnace?
Dark brown.
Dark.
Dark brown.
So this is the description of Jesus Christ. He had woolly hair, eyes like a flame of fire, and skin like brass as if it burned in the furnace. What description does that give you?
I mean, he's black.
That's a black man.
Black man.
But when you type on Google right now, Jesus Christ, what comes up?
You see white people.
Caucasian guy with blue eyes and strong blonde hair. You see the deception?
Yeah, I see it.
We need to start reading, brother. We need to start
I'll
reading our Bible.
I'll get to it.
All right?
Just right now I'm in uni doing some.
All praises. All praises. I graduated from University of Bolton myself.
Bolton.
Yeah. I did mechanical engineering.
I'm also doing uni right now as well.
Yeah. What? First year?
First year.
All praises. Keep it going, bro. Let me give you this. This is just a flyer. Look into that, all right? There's a few commandments there, right? For example, fringes. We're supposed to wear fringes in the border of our garment. It's a simple commandment. Sabbath day is Saturday. You see how people go to church on Sunday? Sunday is the first day of the week. God said the Sabbath is the 7th day of the week. So today is the Sabbath day. And today, you're not actually supposed to buy and sell. That's a commandment. We're not supposed to work. We're not supposed to buy. We're not supposed to sell. We're supposed to focus on God and keeping his commandment and showing our people who they are. That's why I come out here, either here or in Manchester every Sabbath. All right, bro, go on. Few commandments there. We can't eat pork. It's a disgusting animal.
No, but isn't that like what Muslims do as well?
Where do you think the Muslims got it from?
Right.
You know, the Bible came.
Their Bible.
Well, you know, the Quran is plagiarized the Bible. The Bible came before the Quran.
No seafood.
You can go into seafood, you can eat it, but it has to have fins and scales. That's why we put the verse there. Leviticus 11:9. When you read it, it will tell you anything that comes out of the sea needs to have fins and scales. So tilapia, cod, right, sea bass, they're good to eat. But shellfish, crabs, prawn, they don't have fins and scales, so you can't eat them. They're disgusting. Same thing with shaving. You can grow your beard. If you can trim it down, bring it low, but you just can't take a razor and bowl it. You see what I'm saying?
Not well.
Yeah. You should read into that, look into that, and there's a few things here as well, a few commandments there, alright? God bless, bro.